Alright, what's up guys, it's K Central here and I'm back. Hey, how you guys doing? It's been a little bit. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been posting frequent videos. It's just because, I've been in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's the thing you gotta do first, I've been focused on that. And also this week has been like the busiest week of my entire life, so I've not had time to do anything outside of that. So, I just hadn't had time to make videos. Sorry about that. I'm probably going to be posting a lot here in the next couple days. But anyways, the point is, I'm back and I'm bringing you guys a new video. How about that? So, yesterday, on Saturday, February 2nd, 2019, I beat Kingdom Hearts 3. The main story, at least. I haven't 100% completed it yet. I'm probably going to be doing that here real soon, but you know what I mean. I beat the main story of Kingdom Hearts 3, saw the ending, saw the epilogue, saw the secret movie, all that good shit. And, oh man, to go see my reactions on Twitter. They're probably still up there, and I was just like, what? They're really funny. Go watch those. And I have just had a lot of time to kind of gel it over, just, kind of getting my general thoughts about the game, because I've had a lot to think about, obviously, after all that ending stuff. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but if you've finished the game, you know what I mean. And I just been kind of giving my general thoughts about the game, and what I would kind of rank it and review it, you know what I mean? And I think I have my thoughts together for it now. Of course, things can change in the future. That happens with everything. But for right now, I'm pretty sure on how I feel about the game. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be giving my kind of general review of Kingdom Hearts 3. Not going to go too in-depth necessarily. It's just going to be me spewing stuff out, unedited, not scripted or anything like that. Just how I feel about the game. I think it's better that way, honestly. So in this video, I'm going to be splitting it up into 5 different categories, and how I'm going to review this game. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about in here is the story of the game / plot, what I think about that, and then I'm going to talk about the gameplay, and then the worlds, then the graphics of the game, because I just want to gush about that, and finally, my final overall thoughts on the game and my kind of final score of it. But a couple disclaimers before we get into this. One, this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so don't worry about that. I won't give it anything that's gonna ruin the game for you, hopefully, so you're safe here. Second, this is going to be my opinion, obviously, so, don't go crazy in the comments if I have a different opinion than you. If you have a different opinion, hey, that's awesome. I want to hear what you have to think about it. Tell me down in the comments below what your opinion is, in a respectful manner, of course. And also, I have not 100% completed the game, obviously, like I mentioned before, so, yeah, there's that too. But anyways, let's get into it. So let's first talk about the story in this game, because that's obviously the first and most important thing in this game is the end of the Darkseeker saga, so you gotta focus a lot on that. So what do I think about that? I think it was really good. I think it was a really, really good, enjoyable, satisfying story to end this saga of games on. I think it was a really satisfying ending for the saga of games. It's not 100% perfect. Yeah, there's still some things that they could have ironed out and made a lot better, I think. But overall, I really, really enjoyed the experience. Again, it's a satisfying conclusion to the saga of games that we have up to now. Yeah, it does leave some questions unanswered if you saw the secret ending or the epilogue. You know what I mean by that. But I just think it's a really satisfying ending for the Darkseeker saga. A lot of those characters, loose ends, they get wrapped up. Their story arcs get wrapped up. Their character arcs, they grow so much as characters in these games, and they go to places I think they should have gone, and they end up where you think they should. And it's a really satisfying, happy ending as well. I think it was really happy in some ways. There's one little part about it which I think I don't really know about it yet, but overall I really enjoyed the ending of this game. The only big problem I have with it is that the pacing is a little off. When you're in between the worlds of the game, you don't really get that much about story necessarily. It's just like after every world you get like a 10-minute cutscene about the story overall, and I think they could have fleshed it out a little bit more and added a little bit more extra stuff in between like they did in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like going to other worlds that connect to the story and stuff like that. The other complaints I have about the story is that at the very end of the game, a lot of characters, their endings and their conclusions get really fucking rushed, like super rushed. If you play the game, you know exactly what I mean by that. They only get a couple minutes of screen time, each of them, and they don't give a lot of satisfying conclusions to them. Yeah, their characters do end, and they have a satisfying conclusion in that way, but they don't give them enough screen time, and it's just kind of rushed, you know what I mean? So I think they could have handled that a lot better than how they did that. It could have done it in a different way, and they have like a little section cut off for them. And also the other complaint about it is that there's one character in the story that I think should have been handled a lot better. as well, and the ending of that as well. It made me really, really sad and really disappointed that they could have just done a lot more with this character. But again, overall, I think it was a really fun, enjoyable, and satisfying conclusion to the story. You know, they go to a lot of dark places in this game, which I think they handle really, really awesomely. And that ending, man, God, that was really trippy. The dialogue in this game is really fun too. If you read up or see any cutscenes of the game, it's really, really fun to see them because, you know, they're just really funny dialogue in this. I love it. I think it's the best in the Kingdom Hearts series, honestly. And just so many other things that I like about it. So I really enjoyed the story in this game. Some people aren't necessarily happy with it. I understand that. I get that. But for me, honestly, I really enjoyed it. And next up is gameplay. Of course, that's the second biggest thing in this game. You know, it's a game, so you have to have good gameplay for this. And bruh, oh my god, dude, godlike material right here for this gameplay. You know, it's probably going to end up being my favorite Kingdom Hearts gameplay. I was really debating it a lot last night, whether or not Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 was my favorite gameplay in the series, because for a long time I felt Kingdom Hearts 2 up as the gold standard for Kingdom Hearts gameplay. But thinking about it that much more, Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably going to be my favorite. Because, dude, it's just so fucking awesome to play. It's so fun to play. Every game should just be at its basic core fun to play, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is so fucking fun, man. It's everything Kingdom Hearts 2 was, but it adds so many other cool extra things onto it to make it that much more awesome. I thought at first, like, when they added all those attraction flows and link commands and keyblade transformations, that would kind of muddy the waters a bit and make it just a little bit too much all at once. But they blended together so well, man. You know, it's really satisfying to actually execute those things in the game. You really get excited when you get to execute the keyblade transformations or the attraction flows or anything like that. It's so much more fun. The only, like, thing, the attraction flow that I really hate is that the carousel one. I really didn't like that one. I think they could have done that a lot better, or just removed it altogether. But all the others, man, I'm in love with those so much, man. Again, so much more fun. Just fun. That floaty debate can go fuck off as well. You know, it's so easy to control. A lot of people at the premiere event and E3 and stuff like that were complaining about the floaty controls, which maybe they fixed it. I don't know. I didn't play the demo, so I can't say for sure. But I guess those complaints were for naught because, you know, in my honest opinion, damn, is this game fun to play. Holy shit, dude. Yes, Sora is floaty. Sora is a floaty character in Kingdom Hearts 3. That, you are technically right about that. You get a gold star. But it doesn't detriment the game at all. It actually adds a lot to the experience. I think it was necessary for Sora to be floaty in this game, in my honest opinion, because the environments of this game are so fucking expansive. They're so much more bigger than the past Kingdom Hearts games. The Unreal 4 is a beast. I'll get into that later. So Sora kind of needed to be floaty for this game, because if he was grounded and, you know, he had a lot of weight to him, then you wouldn't get to explore a lot of these environments, and you'd feel, like, really constrained, and you just want to see all this different stuff, but you couldn't because you'd be grounded. So Sora being floaty helps you explore the environment more. It helps you see a lot more of it, because, you know, these environments are meant to be explored, and Sora needs to be floaty in order to do that. So it helps you get to certain places and stuff like that. So Sora needs to be floaty in this game, and I think it adds a lot to the game, aside from detrimenting it. I know that's crazy to say, but I think it's true. You know, in past Kingdom Hearts games, Sora being floaty was kind of a detriment because a lot of the areas that they went to were so compact and they couldn't really go much around them. So Sora being floaty, it felt like you had all this stuff to explore, but you couldn't because the areas were so compact. But now that it's so expansive, man, it makes it that much better, man. So that floaty debate and how it's being bad can shut up. I mean, in terms of combat, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but in terms of overall gameplay experience, I think it was a necessary thing. Moving on from that, the mini games in this game are really fun too. I really like those in here, like the classic Kingdom stuff, the Remy mini game. I didn't get to the 100-acre wood world yet, so I don't know all the mini games in there yet. Of course, that's an optional world. If you don't know, that's optional, by the way. But, you know, I think they're really fun to play. You don't have to do them. I wish they could have put a lot more emphasis on them in the game, because I've only done a lot of them just once, like the Remy mini game. Only did really once because I want to get through the game, and you're not required to do them at all, except for that one time you were learning to do it. So I just wish they could have done a lot more with it, I think. And again, I didn't go to the 100-acre wood world, so I don't know about that. But I like the minigames. But the big complaints I have about the gameplay in this game, because, you know, again, it's not 100% perfect, is the gummy ships controls. Oh my god. It's terrible. It's fucking awful, dude. I cannot control the gummy ship for shit. I mean, it's so stiff. The controls are inverted, first off, and when you go to try to change them in the options menu, when you exit out, it just changes right back. So there's no point in doing that at all. It only lasts for like a couple seconds, even if you get it to work. And I can't control the gummy ship for shit, man. Every time I try to boost, I run into a rock or something like that, and I go spinning all over the place. Thank God that you don't get hurt by that, because then I would not have gotten anywhere in the game. And I mean, it's cool that they have a free roaming experience. Yeah, that was a cool idea, but I think they could have worked on the gummy ship controls a lot more. Space controls, I guess, never work, honestly, so I guess what you gonna do? But I just hated the gummy ship, man. Every time we had to go to the gummy ship, I was just like, fuck, I don't want to do this. I wish they could have just kept it a linear experience if that would have made it that much better, so. It was a cool idea, but they could have done a lot better. And those fucking lucky emblems, dude. Those fucking lucky emblems. Those are the fucking hardest things to find. That's like a big meme now. Like, those things are so fucking hard to find, man. Like, a lot of times you'll stumble upon them on accident. And even if a Goofy or Donald say, like, oh, there's a lucky emblem nearby, you still can't find it because you get your camera out, you look all over the place, and you can't find it for shit because, again, these areas are so expansive that you can't really find them. You just try to look for that little box indicating where it is, and you can't find it. It's really frustrating, man. It's really, really frustrating. But overall, man, Kingdom Hearts 3 is still my favorite gameplay in the series. It's so much fun, even with that stuff in mind, if you exclude the gummy ship shit, because that blood drops me up a wall. Man, I love it so much. Next is the worlds, and what I think about the worlds in this game. Man, I love the selection in this game. I think it's a really good one. I like that most of them are new worlds. There's only 2 returning worlds in Hercules and Pirates of the Caribbean. I like the other ones, though. I think they were really cool, the ones that they chose for them. There's one in there that I think they could have removed, and that would have been the 100-Acre Wood world, because, you know, that's optional. And that, again, is technically a returning world in a way, but from what I've heard, you don't really do that much, and it's just kind of mini games and stuff like that. It's really short. I wish they could have removed that, I guess. But the other worlds, man, I'm in love with them. So I guess let's just talk about each one individually. Toy Box or Toy Story World, that one's really fun. It's really hard to get around that kind of thing first off time you're playing it, because it's really big, you know, the Galaxy toys. It's really hard to find ways around there, which I guess is kind of a detriment to the gameplay as well. Since the environments are so big, it's really hard to find sometimes where you're going. There's not really a waypoint telling you where to go if you don't have a map. And I think it's really cool, though. I like the story because, according to Disney or Pixar, this is actually canon to the Toy Story universe. Like, this actually takes place right before Toy Story 3, this game. So, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are canon in the Toy Story universe now. Heartless and stuff like that. What? I'm so confused by that. I think it's awesome, though, and it's really funny. But, you know, it's not my favorite world overall because, you know, Galaxy Toys is super fucking huge, dude. I had to look up some tutorials on how to get around that place. If you don't pay attention to the cutscenes at all, you'll get super fucking lost and you don't know where to go. I like this. I like the world, though. It's not my favorite. But, you know, it's a world. I like the costumes they have for Sora, Donald, and Goofy in this game. And I have the Brie Arts little figures back there of them. I haven't really gotten to fix them yet since I've been so busy this week. But I'm really excited to hang those up on the shelf. You know, there's just so super fucking cool costumes. And also the Gigas little mech suits in the game. Those are super fucking fun to play with, even though they get damaged really easily. And the little intro of the game, when you start playing it, it's really funny because it's kind of a little jab from Nomura at the Final Fantasy 15 whole situation with that. I think it's really funny with that too. And it kind of ties into the ending as well, which I think is really cool too. So there's that. Next is Kingdom of Corona, or the Tangled World in the game, which I kind of feel the same way about that and Toy Story. You know, it's just kind of, it's a really cool world. It's really fucking pretty, dude, you know, with the environments they have in this world. You know, the movie itself looks amazing, and translating that into Kingdom Hearts 3 graphics, which again I'll get into in a little bit, are just so fucking amazing, dude. Again, it's really big. There's one part of the game where it's really hard to navigate, and you have to have like a tutorial to get through a certain part of it. And the dancing mini game is really fun too. I've seen a lot of memes of that as well. It's really fun. I even made one. If you want to go on Twitter, see that. It's a really fun world. I again kind of feel the same way Well, that and the Short Story World. I'm kind of going in order of how I play them in the game. Next is Monsters, Inc., which I think is a really fucking awesome world. Even though the story is kind of lackluster, not really that much happens in it. It's just you going from point A to point B. Nothing really much happens in it. But the dialogue I really think is really enjoyable in here from, you know, Mike and Sully. Those are really funny characters, and the dialogue between them is really funny. And, you know, it's just really fun to see this world as well, and the new costumes that they have for the monster costumes. I actually have a little Funko Pop version of Sora and Goofy. I don't have Donald yet from this world, and that's really fun to have as well. It's just up there with one of my favorite worlds. I don't know what it is about it. I just really love it. Next is Arendelle, or Frozen, and again, I really like the world. Just kind of feel the same way about the other worlds that I've talked about with that. The Keyblade, again, this world, speaking of Keyblades, is not really that great. But aside from that, really fun. The intro part of it, it goes on a little bit too long. I wish they could have done that a little bit differently. And the whole musical sequence that they have for it in there, like Let It Go, that was really fun to see. And I love Let It Go, man. I know a lot of people get sick of it, but I've had a break from it for a while, and it's really good to hear it again. I like the movie Frozen. And I just like the world. You know, I like the characters like Anna, Elsa, Sven, and Kristoff, or that's his name. It's just, man, I love it. Next is the Caribbean, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean world, so it's not called Port Royale in this game. And I've got a 50-50 on it. I don't know exactly how to feel about this in the game. Part of me really enjoys it. You know, I love the ship gameplay in this. You know, it kind of reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed in a lot of ways, but more simplified and more streamlined, which I think is a better option, because I think Assassin's Creed pirate ship gameplay, a little bit too much to it. And, you know, exploring the worlds, you know, it's so fucking big. I think this is the biggest world in the game, and there's so much stuff to do in it. And the graphics, oh my god. I don't know how they made that look good with Kingdom Hearts style, but they did. And it was one of my least favorite worlds in the whole Kingdom Hearts series at one point, because they didn't change costume in Kingdom Hearts 2 for that world, and it just was just jarring at one point, but they made it blend together so well in this one. So I love it for that reason, but the story, it just doesn't really go anywhere. I like that part of it, and you know, it's a lot of times it's really kind of streamlined, so you don't get to explore that much. You only get to really explore it in the main story just once, right before the final battle of it, which I think they could have done that a lot better too. But I'm still kind of 50-50. I really don't know how to feel about it. I really like it right now, though. And finally, Big Hero 6. So this is probably going to end up being my favorite world because of the story in it. It's really fun. I like the story in here. I love Big Hero 6. It's probably one of my favorite Disney movies of the 2010s. You know, it's been kind of a new renaissance for them this decade, and this is one of my favorite ones from them. I mean, Baymax is super fucking funny. I love Baymax so much. He's so funny. And the other characters, which they are kind of one-dimensional in a way, but I still love them too. They're kind of funny. And it's just really fun to fly around this world, you know, like go on top of the buildings, and, you know, it's just so fucking satisfying, man. Like I mentioned before, the gameplay in this game, so fucking satisfying. It's really satisfying here in the Big Hero 6 world, or San Francisco, as it's called. And that's my opinion on pretty much all the worlds right there. Again, I didn't play the 100 Acre Wood world, so I can't really say too much about that. And also, if I went any further, then I have to get into spoiler territory, which I don't want to do. So that's kind of my opinion on the worlds in this game. And next, in terms of just specific stuff, this is the last one. Let's talk about the graphics in this game. I know this is kind of unnecessary to talk about that because we know how good it looks, but I just kind of want to gush about it, you know? I love the graphics so much, I want to gush the fuck out of this. So I love the graphics in this game, dude. I'm in love with this shit. This is what games should look like, man. This is what games should look like, in my opinion. Because nowadays, I know it's kind of cliche to say this, but all these game developers are making these super hyper-realistic games, you know, with all these shooter elements. And I mean, like, all these first-person shooters, I should say. They have all these realistic elements, and they try to get it as realistic looking as possible, which I think is a noble effort. But it just looks kind of boring, in my opinion, and I don't like playing those kind of games. Honestly, this is the kind of games I love to play, man. You know, it's really stylized. It's shell-shaded, but it's not. It looks like a Disney movie. It really does look like a Disney movie more than any other Kingdom Hearts game. It looks like a modern Disney movie, like the ones in the 2010s with the CG animation and stuff like that. It looks a lot like that, and it looks so goddamn gorgeous, dude. Oh my goodness, man. You know, it looks almost like the Disney movies of today. Yeah. You can see that it does look a little bit different. You know, it's more smooth than the other ones. It's not as detailed, as movies such as like Frozen or any of the Pixar movies or anything like that. If you look really closely, you can see that. But if you look at it from a distance, you wouldn't really tell, and it doesn't really matter anyways because it looks so much like it that it blows your mind, man. The Unreal Engine 4 is a beast. It's running on this hardware as well, like the PS4 and Xbox One hardware. It's running on this, which it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind. People at Square Enix, they're fucking wizards or something like that. I played the game on the Xbox One X, the most powerful console out there right now. And, you know, I just got that because, you know, I thought it would be the best looking way to play the game. And also, it's the first one I got when I got a GameStop because they didn't send me the PS4 version on time. So I just got that and played it on there. And it does look really fucking good on there. In terms of frame rate, it's kind of the most stable out of all of them. You have to do some trickery on the PS4 Pro to actually get it running well on there, which I think is kind of ridiculous, honestly. But if you want to do that, you can look up how to get the best looking version of the PS4 Pro version of Kingdom Hearts 3 on there, and it runs consistently at 60 FPS. So I think it'd be the best way to play that if you do some stuff to your PS4 Pro console. That's the best way to play Kingdom Hearts 3. But the Xbox One X is really good as well. There's a Digital Foundry video out there, which I may link in the description if you want to go see the full thing on that and how what all they say about it, because they don't say too many nice things about it, but it gives you kind of a general idea of how the game runs. And the most stable version of it without the stuff is on the Xbox One X. So if you want to do that, hey, you're fine doing that as well. And I think it has the highest resolution out of all of them, the Xbox One X version. So there you go as well. I know I'm probably going to get roasted for playing the Xbox version on here, but that's just what happened. And there's kind of a misleading screenshot going around of 1 second of the Digital Foundry video, which is just kind of ridiculous. You know, it's just kind of showing that the Xbox One X has the lowest frame rate out of all of them, but it's just one little screenshot from one little section of the video. That's some bullshit. I don't like that they're spreading that around. And man, it doesn't really matter, honestly, which platform you're playing. I'm just kind of giving you the facts. Again, watch the Digital Foundry video if you want to go see all that stuff. But, you know, the graphics, man, oh my god. They look so good. It looks so good to look at. It looks like a Disney movie. This is the kind of in-grain graphics that I think people should be striving for. And, you know, something along these lines. Not exactly like it, but I think it should be more stylized nowadays with all these AAA titles going around, because I think realistic sells, and I think that's going by the wayside now if you're looking at recent sales. So, yeah, I think more games should look like this, man. I'm in love with this. I love looking at it so much. It's like eye porn. It really is. And finally, my final verdict for the game, what my overall thoughts are, and what I give it as a score. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. It's masterpiece material. It really is masterpiece material right here. It's up there, man. It's super up there. It's up there in my top 5 favorite games of all time. If not, it would end up being my top favorite game of all time. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. What else can you really say about it, dude? It did everything a Kingdom Hearts 3, a game like this, needed to do, and then some more. It adds so much to the already existing Kingdom Hearts formula, you know, like with the gameplay, with the key blank transformations, the attraction flow, stuff like that. It adds so much to the story, you know, they go to so many dark places, and those characters, they get satisfying conclusions, even though it's a little bit rushed. And the graphics, man, oh my god! I'm in love with that, man. This game is just... It's a culmination of everything that's happened in Kingdom Hearts so far. And Tatsuya Nomura and his team over there did something absolutely beautiful, and I applaud them so much for it. I literally, when the final credits started rolling for the game, I did a standing ovation, because it's just that goddamn good. So if I had to give it a score, I would probably give it around a 9.3 to a 9.5. I would give it a 10, but like I mentioned before in the previous things, there are some things that kind of weigh it down, like the gummy ships and the rush a little bit of the ending. But those just weigh it down just a tiny, tiny, tiniest bit for me. This game is still so beautiful for me, and they did an amazing thing with it. It's just those tiny things that slightly get in the way. It's still masterpiece material, man. So I'm giving it around a 9.3 to a 9.5. Absolutely amazing. So that's my review of Kingdom Hearts 3. Right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, you know, make sure to like this video as always. If you have a different opinion, tell me down in the comments below what you think about the game. You know, what's your kind of general review about the game? What score would you give it? I'm really excited to see what you guys have to say about that. And also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and follow me on Twitter as always, because that'd be really awesome if you did. This has been KH Central, and I will see you guys in the next video. This game's amazing. Bye.